Om Namah Shivaya. So I'd like to talk to you just for a few moments about a Clysmatic for internal cleansing. We use a Clysmatic, which is this big bucket here. This is like a very large enema, if you like. Okay, this is a system which can clean you internally without you having to get up from the lavatory. So most enemas have a small tube that goes up your bottom, but the Clysmatic has a fairly substantial tube. And because of the design of the equipment, this sits inside the lavatory and only a small section, about this much, actually enters your body. Whereas with a normal enema bag, this tube has to be inserted and taken out all the time while you're having your cleansing. So this Clysmatic is a gravity-fed colonic hydrotherapy. Okay, and we are fixing this piece of equipment into the lavatory itself. Okay, and this acts like a spring when it's in the lavatory, and sits just underneath the lip of the loo. Okay, this is at the back. And then the hose from the bucket gets attached to the back here. And then your tube is on the front here. And this is the bit that's going up your bottom. All right? So you fill the bucket with water, with warm water is preferable, like any normal enema. But with this system, we have a valve which you can turn on and off to stop the flow of water. So it's essential to turn it off before you start, obviously, so that you can fill the bucket with water, otherwise it'll all just pour out. So you've got your valve there, and then before you start, you just open it to make sure the water's flowing. Whoops, and coming out of the tube. And then you turn it off, and then you sit on your tube and you make sure you're comfortable, like with all normal enema. And then when you're ready, you turn the water on and you've got your tube up your bottom like this, and you just clench your anal muscles. You clench your anal muscles so that the body can fill up with water. So you can fill your colon with water, okay? Now, how much water can you take? Well, it depends. So we count. We start, we clench and we count on 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, and then we just release. We relax the anal muscles and all the water will pour out. Then when we're ready, we clench again, and this time we count up to 10. Then we release. The water comes out. Then we clench again. Count up to 15, release, the water comes out, 20, water comes out, 25, 30, and the water comes out. So we're just building up the amount of water that we can take inside us until it gets to a point where you have a pain just underneath your ribs. Yeah? And that shows that you are full of water. And if you are able to hold all that water inside you while clenching, you'll be clenching really, really hard. And then you're going to release this, and the water is going to gush out of you. It's going to be like a torrent of water, and it's going to come out of you, and you've got to push it out, and all this muck will come out with it. Yeah? And this will be muck from all the food that you've been eating over the last couple of days. Right? So then, when you're ready, you then clench again. And then this time you don't need to count, because you know how much water you can take, because you can feel it. So you take in the water until that point, until you can't take any more water, and then again, release, and it gushes out. Okay? Now sometimes when we clench, we can't take any water. The body says, no, not right now. So you don't. You just have to wait until the time is right. And it's all about feeling and being sensitive to your body. Yeah? And understanding the process that's going on. That the water's coming in, it's coming up, going across the top and down the other side. And it's not going to go into the small intestine because there is a valve the entrance of this colon. So it's just going to come up this side, over the top, and down the other. Okay? And then when it's all full of water, you're going to feel your tenderness in this area, because you're using your muscles in a different way, and also you're stretching the colon slightly. Okay, so when you're stretching the colon, it's going to be sensitive after you've used it. So be aware that when you've used the Clysmatic or any enema, to a degree, you are going to have some tenderness. All right? Then after a few days, only water will be coming out. There'll be no muck left inside. And when you're doing this with an enema, just muck, no muck comes out at all, just clear water coming into the body and going out of the body, coming in and going out, coming in and going out. After a couple of days, after a few days, the psyllium that you've been taking in your shake will start to come through, and it will be of a different, possibly of a different colour, because it will be absorbing the colour and reflecting the colour of the juices that you've been taking. So sometimes it may be a bit green, sometimes it may be a bit brown or yellow or orange, and of course sometimes it may be a bit pink or red. Now please don't be alarmed, because this is just beetroot. Okay, the beetroot will be absorbed into the psyllium and it will come out red. So please don't be alarmed. Okay, so the psyllium will be coming out, you'll be cleaning, and when you're clean inside, you really do feel different. You feel like light. You feel light, and it is reflected in your body language, in your face and in your smile. And you take on a different smile. It becomes, I know something you don't know, smile. Yeah. And you just feel completely different. And you look at everybody else in the street and you can just smile at them, because you know that you're clean.